Welcome back to the red sofa here at Digital Strategies. We've got here Dr. Gisela Linge from Autoliv, Vice President of Global Logistics, and you've been talking to us about your new command center, end-to-end command center, and it's a fascinating insight into a complex environment. Just for our wider audience, could you perhaps share the rationale behind it and the purpose of it and the objectives of that initiative?
Sure, and thanks for having me and being able to share a little bit about our journey to get to smarter decisions one click away. So we started 2 years ago, and our aim was to make all the data that is dispersed across our systems, on Excel sheets and wherever, at Autoliv, readily available for better decision making for our colleagues. So what we did is, in close collaboration with IT, build first an end-to-end data model, meaning it does not only contain SCM data, but also financial data, sales data, product data, you name it. And then we built on this, an interface system that is also able to run simulations. Yeah. And why did we do this? Our main aim was, in a time where there's a lot of disruptions, uncertainties, really to create visibility for our colleagues in an easy and fast way, and also that way enabling decision-making across our functional silos to some degree.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of working at it. And one of the characteristics is that you go beyond supply chain. You look at financial areas, you look at risk management, you look at sales. What are the key areas of working across those different silos? We know sometimes silos exist in organizations, but how do you work around that?
So to be very honest, we did not really have to do a lot of workaround. And so there was great collaboration across the functions in this project. And I think for this, three main reasons. So one reason is our company culture. So we at Autoliv, we really strive to make our vision of saving more lives reality. And for this, we do really collaborate across functions. So if you come with a request, people listen to you and try to understand you and help you. Second reason is we had a really compelling why, not only for us in SCM, but really showing them case by case, hey, this is how you would benefit from sharing the data without making it available to colleagues across the different functions and enabling better decision making. And third, as I said, we closely collaborated with IT from the very beginning. So we had all the specialists, the people on board so that when we were talking with another function, we could say, hey, this is what we want, why we want it, and this is how we would do it, right? So that was it was pretty easy.
It's a great example of collaboration, and that's a really key important element. But you mentioned data. I suppose one of the key things is making sure you have good quality data. How do you ensure you do have good quality live data and no data gaps in that process?
It's a really good question, and it's at the core of it. As I said, the engine of this whole command center and digital twin is the end-to-end data model. And also here you could say three things were very important for us: process, people, and systems. So what we did on the process side, right, making sure that our processes are right to bring up good data, because normally it's not bad data, it's just bad process adherence. The second thing is when you look at the systems, for example, in the command center, there's the ability for you to open a ticket on the data quality. So if you see as a user, hey, something is off here, there's a data missing, or it's a wrong supplier address, or whatever, you can easily open a ticket on it. But we also did, for example, audits. Now we piloted this together with IT, where we really look at certain processes from both perspectives, like from the system perspective, is maybe something we need to improve here, but also from the process side and on the people side. And when it comes to the people, which is really important, what we did in parallel is building up a governance and making people accountable as data owners for the data. And last but not least, what I truly believe in is you get data better the more you use it. Yeah. So by taking it in and also acknowledging, yes, it's not perfect, but it's as good as the data is in the source systems we take it from. You can also show and highlight where maybe still gaps are, and then you can work on this in a targeted way.
And it's an ongoing process.
Of course, that's a never-ending thing. So what I don't recommend is waiting until you have the perfect data, trying to make a big cleanup. because after a year you have the same mess. You really have to look at the process, the systems, and the people.
And that's a great way of looking at it, because it's a continuous process.
Yeah.
But now that you've got the command center live and operational, what can you tell us about what difference it makes in terms of your decision making or your scenario planning? What kind of positive impact is it making now?
Well, it's honestly very broad. Since we brought in so many different data sets, it's up to your imagination, you could simply say. So I literally get mails daily on, hey, what else can you build us as a dashboard in? And where do we already use it? For example, beginning of the year when we still had the prototype in Power BI, we used it for our estimating the impact of the new tariffs that Trump was giving, but the retaliation tariffs, and that way we were helping our colleagues, mainly in Mexico and the US, to understand where to focus on mitigation or where to talk with customers on. We can use it for global allocation when you have a supply shortage, because now you can see in each plant, on each part number level, what is the inventory. We can make scenarios or like simulations, when would we run out, and when would which customer be, so to say, stopped, because we are depicting on part number level from our supplier or all our internal value chain, which is quite deep at Autoliv, as we do a lot of internal processing, up to our customer. And look at this, as I said again, from financial perspective, sales perspective, we have the product data, and so where else we looked at it, which components are affected, which customers would be affected, and the list goes on and on.
I mean, it's end-to-end and 360, it's everything together. But now we're looking at, you said before that it's just the start of the process. Where do you see this going? I mean, beyond 2026, and as we look to the future of the command center, where do you think this is going to go?
I think there are various ways we can further improve. The first thing is, of course, enhancing it and enriching it with even more data sets from different functions. So we are discussing with our colleagues from sustainability how to get in maybe emission factors to get a better grip on GHG accounting. With our colleagues from operations to look really not only stop on plant level, but being even able to look deeper down on capacities. So that's one way. The other topic is for us, of course, enhancing the system itself. So we at the moment testing a chatbot, and not just to have a chatbot in it, but that enables us, as I said before, you have endless opportunities here. And we cannot endlessly program dashboards, but by asking the chatbot, you can get, so to say, your tailored analysis. And the third thing is also then you mentioned scenario planning. How can we enhance this with AI-driven simulations, and then, for example, be able to better support S&OP and S&E processes here? And the third thing, coming back again to the data, what we still also need to do is, of course, continuously working on the data quality. And also what we also do is reaching out to the owners of the source systems that we, drag the data from, and saying, hey, these are some suggestions that we have. Maybe you have more updates in there, or maybe also collect this kind of data and make it available. So this is, again, like various perspectives and degrees how we can continue. So it won't get boring. It
won't get boring, and it'll carry on. So it's a fascinating look at your command center. Appreciate your time on the Red Sofa, Dr. Gisela Linge. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.